Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back, everybody.
So, guys, we want to first invite you to check out, see if you are subscribed. And if you haven't been subscribed or if you've been unsubscribed, please do go ahead and subscribe and click the bell. And hopefully you'll get notified.
Indeed. Yep.
When we do put out new videos, which is pretty much every day. I think maybe there's like 5 days a year that we don't have a video up. Maybe that's about it. Before we get started, check out Medicinal Foods. Use coupon code EEA. You can find some stuff that'll help you detox, boost your immune system. We want to thank also everyone that's supporting us over on Ko-Fi and also on Patreon. We couldn't do it without you guys. Did you guys feel anything lately? Did you feel anything today? Because we did get hit. The KP index went up to a 7, as you could see there. And I don't know, did you feel off? Did you feel tired? Did you feel dizzy? Did you feel foggy? Did you feel wired?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know some people who have not been feeling well today, but I had the worst headache all night long. It was harsh.
Yeah, it was really wild too, because this morning when I let the puppies out and I went out and the sun was hitting me as it was rising, and it was weird because we have a lot of trees over facing the east, so I don't really get to see the sun until it's already come up a ways from when it was rising. But the way it was hitting me, I was at a loss for words. It felt like the sun was dancing to me. It made me think of Garibaldi and Fatima, where people were watching the sun move around and like dance. And that's what it felt like to me. And also the consciousness aspect of it. It felt weird. Beyond weird, it felt kind of like time was stopping. And I was in like a very, very deep meditative state, which I hadn't worked my way into. So I don't know. It just felt really, really weird. And then I saw later on that the KP is so strong. And so Cindy, well, what are you getting about all this?
Mm-hmm. It was different. It was different. The energy, I don't like using the word filter because that might assume that, okay, it's something fake. But there was some kind of an adjustment made to the source energy to bring us different information for what we're going through in these times. These are very difficult times. I mean, people that we talk to, they're being faced with a lot of issues that they need to resolve in this lifetime. And Source is very good about reading our energy and responding to what we might need. And there was some kind of an adjustment made to give us the strength to get through these times right now.
Absolutely. Source, the God with the big G, the real creator, wants us all to be free to express ourselves in any way possible. So it does want to level the playing field in so many ways with the system that we're in. And we will have a level playing field when the system does pass away, which it will. Its time is relatively short in the bigger scheme of things as we're talking. I mean, I saw somebody say, so when is this Kali Yuga going to end? Well, according to some Vedic sources, the Kali Yuga began about 3102 BC, so it's been going on for about 5,100 years. Now, there are some sources that view things in timelines that are millions of years. And, again, it's different ways of looking at things. But if we're looking at 5,100 years of darkness, basically, we have like another 20 years or so, something like that, before we're really truly completely out of it. 20, 22, 23 years, something like that. When the big flash from the sun comes, that's going to be the end of it. And everybody will be at that point in time changed, and will either, from what we have gotten, be experiencing Earth as a 5D Earth, or perhaps we will be reincarnating on some 3D planet elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Regardless, it is going to be a change. It is going to be different. And Source has a way of naturally resolving things that are out of balance.
So did you guys feel it? Do you guys feel that energy change? I certainly did. And it hit me like, wow, there's something super major going on. And it felt amazing. Honestly, it felt very, very, I don't know how to put it. It's just powerful. Powerful. So JP Morgan predicts global commodities prices may rise by 40%. Yeah, again, this is not going to go right away. And we are heading into a period of instability and conflict. Yeah, I don't think there's any getting around this conflict. It's too far pushed forward by the power structure. And it's already kind of breaking out, and it's ready to break out and widen past what we have been watching. And again, get yourself as prepared as possible. We were talking to David Devine earlier, and everything that he has been talking about too. I mean, it's just coming down, just one thing after another. 40% of Belgian food producers to halt or reduce activity as the conflict goes on in Ukraine. And really, this is one of the worst places for conflict to be. So is that a coincidence? I don't think so. This is the breadbasket of Europe, so to speak. And the area in Russia right next to the border is a high producing area. So all this area is kind of going offline to a very, very high degree. And here we see, according to FIVIA, the Federation of Belgian Food Industry, up to 40% of food producers in Belgium are planning to temporarily halt or reduce their business. Around 12% of the world's calories come from Ukrainian and Russian wheat. And when we look at the next, which is estimates that show Ukraine's crop harvest could be cut in half at the worst possible time. Is that a coincidence?
I know. They are so very deliberate about all the moves that they make, and that's why we try to wake up as many people as possible, because we have to be the same way, or you're just going to fall victim to what they are putting in place for us.
Last year, Ukraine grew 41 million tons of corn. This year could be as low as 19 million. This is not a good situation. And, who imports this? A lot of this does end up going over into Africa, and they are so always kind of right on the brink of starvation. You're going to see an awful lot of unrest. And, this is one of the questions that really has been going through in my head. I wonder how much unrest we'll have in this tiny little town, in this area. Now, where we are too, I mean, if people really were starving, if they were able to catch a fish, they wouldn't starve, because there's so many rivers, streams, and lakes and things like that. And it's normally pretty wet. It's starting to get kind of dry. As we know, Texas is getting drier because of this drought, which has been foretold that could be a second Dust Bowl, could be another 100+ year drought. It's all these things are coming down. And then, of course, now, all the buzz is bird flu. And millions of more chickens and turkeys and stuff are being culled. And I was just in Tractor Supply and hearing the little chicks all chirping. They're so cute.
They're just adorable.
But, we've been debating. Do we get chickens for eggs? I mean, I'm not crazy about eggs, honestly, but they are a good complete protein source.
Yeah.
But then you got to feed the chickens, and if you don't have, you got to make your call.
You do. You have to select things and choose wisely and make sure that whatever you're raising, you have the ability to feed that creature. So a lot of people on farms, it's a working farm, so everything kind of feeds itself, but we don't have a big enough working farm. So if we couldn't get grain for the chickens, there might be a problem.
Yeah, we don't have a farm.
Right.
But we do have a lot of berry bushes that are coming back into their second year. Last year we did put out blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, fig trees, which are coming back strong. I did get 2 pear trees that we're going to put in, but we're in a very, very small space, as so many people are. Probably the majority of people out there. I would venture to guess that if you averaged it all out, the average person probably has, a quarter acre or less. When you get down to it, there are many out there that are homesteading and have amazing homesteads, but the average person, is either living in some sort of neighborhood, perhaps renting, as we know so many people rent now, because again, eventually the WEF has told us you're not going to own anything, and you'll be happy with what they decide they're going to give us.
Yep, they've mentioned it more than once.
They sure have. So again, how can you grow stuff in small spaces? Pots, for instance. Hanging plants as well, another good option. Microplastics found in lung tissues of humans for first time. Deep in the lungs of living humans for the first time. This is just another way that this shows just how sick the system is. And again, plastics, estrogens, fertility rates plummeting, sperm count plummeting, and WEF even saying this is the last generation of Homo sapiens. Megathrust earthquake and tsunami 3,800 years ago kept the hunter-gatherers in Chile inland for 1,000 years. They must have basically been telling generation after generation, hey, it might be beautiful on the shore, but don't go there, guys.
They're just doing their best to warn, right?
Well, when this one hit, the waves they estimate were somewhere between 40 and 60 feet high. So, that can definitely catch up to people living right on the shore. 40 to 60 foot high could inundate almost all of the Florida peninsula when you really think about it, because, so much of Florida is 10 feet sea level. How about down around New Orleans? So much of that whole area is below sea level. It's just another thing that we have to deal with in this world. But again, we see a lot of things that don't make sense. Like they say this was just a contrail. This looks like something coming down. This looks like we're looking at something in Ukraine maybe. What was that? Was that a missile? No, it's just a contrail. Yeah, sure. The question is, what was it? Was it a plane crash? A meteor? Just a contrail. It's in Alaska. I don't know. What do you guys think? Now, mystery boson finding contradicts understanding of the universe. So you might have heard of the Higgs boson. The W boson is what they're talking about here. It's a fundamental particle that has significantly greater mass than theorized, shaking the foundations of our understanding of how the universe works. Those foundations are grounded by the standard model of particle physics, which is the best theory scientists have to describe the most basic building blocks of the universe and what forces govern them. The W boson governs what is called the weak force, one of four fundamental forces of nature and therefore a pillar of standard model. However, new research published in a science journal said that the most precise measurement ever made of the W boson directly contradicts the model's prediction. So basically what they're telling us is, that what they tell us isn't the way it really is.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah, well, that kind of goes along with everything else.
Yeah,
Everything from, CNN and MSNBC and Fox News and pretty much every politician's mouth out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it covers it, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, again, you have to look deeper. And so much of the science is really all basically a selling point. My goodness, can we remember just how recently we were told, listen to the science, follow the science. And in like a year's time, that science is totally contradicted.
I know, and how many times have I heard, well, so many people don't believe in the science. It's just on and on and on. If you don't believe in the science, then I guess there's something wrong with you. But then they come out 3 months later and saying, well, we were wrong. So, what is it?
Don't worry. They're going to put a Wikipedia on this video for trusting science,
Yes.
probably.
Yes. Trust and don't trust the science. I don't know.
Well, when science is really all about sales, because it's all about selling us a certain belief set, then it's good to question everything.
Oh, thoroughly too.
As always, guys, be as prepared as possible. Keep sending out your positive thoughts and intentions, and keep waking up as many as possible. Much love. God bless, and namaste.
Namaste.